My name's Zira Wood. I'm 11 years old and I race motocross.
Can you tell me what your favorite thing about motocross is?
Probably the adrenaline rush and the feeling of going fast.
Okay, tell me what bikes you ride, what classes you ride in.
I ride a KTM 65. I ride in 65 Open and 65 10 to 11.
Do you have just one KTM 65?
I have 3, about to be 4.
So why do you need so many bikes?
In case one breaks down, I get another one and then I have extra parts.
And then do you ride in different classes?
Sometimes I have an 85, but it's getting worked on right now.
What about modified and limited classes?
Yeah, we did qualifiers in mod mode.
Okay, who supports you and you're chasing the dreams?
Jet Aircraft, I like to thank them. They have their own private charter service, so if anybody needs private jet flights, you can go there. Action Motorsports, they supply betas, they supply goggles, gear, helmets, boots, tear-offs, and they work on my bikes. They have my 85 right now and my 65. So I'd like to thank them for working on my bikes and supplying me with a lot of stuff. And Zero Limits, I'd like to thank them for making the best gear I've probably had for a while. And I think the gear designs are sick, and I love them.
So what got you started riding motocross?
So when I was 3, my parents bought me my first dirt bike for Christmas. I started riding around in the yard a lot, then had that till I was 7. We sold it, started racing more when I was 8. We got a little 50 in between there that was part half broken and worked half the time. But then once I started racing more, we got a KX 2001 65. And the first time I ever went to a track was Jander's Motorsports. It was in the middle of winter, it was freezing cold, and my bike, we got there, I did a couple laps, it died and wouldn't start. So they let us borrow a 110, which they have a big selection. They let us borrow a 110 to ride around for that day. And so I rode that around and then just moved on, kept going, and then when I was 8, we finally went there. Every Friday night they do a youth race, 85s and lower, even stage 6. They have a little youth track that you can ride on. That was my first ever race, and I didn't do so good. And then later on we kept doing it, and it's every Friday night, so we went down there almost every Friday night. It was a 2-hour drive. And that's when I met my friend Cooper. We can't ride a lot because I don't live near him. He lives in Oklahoma. And so we meet up a lot sometimes. We meet up at the track.
So tell me about these youth races.
They do sometimes they'll do prizes, sometimes they'll do medals. It's complicated. They have a podium which you go up on, you can take pictures on. And then a lot of times they give you free ice creams at the end of the race. They have food trucks there. And a lot of times if you go, they do pit bike races. And if you go sometimes, they have big races after them. They have amateur track and national.
Okay, that sounds like a pretty cool place.
Yeah. They got 4 tracks?
Yeah. So tell me about your first big race experience.
It was a 50 national. I had that Cobra.
Where was this 50 national?
It was at Jander's Motorsports on their amateur track. And at that time I had that Cobra I was talking about that was on and off, working and not working. And so I was riding around, did a couple laps. I came around and then there's a big jump, a big step up in the back. And it's big. But I was going up the face on it, and my bike died. And I rolled backwards down it, and then we never could get my bike started. So we were parked next to this guy, and he was like, "You can borrow my son's KTM 50. He doesn't use it." 50. And he doesn't use it, so he rides a Cobra. And he let me borrow his bike to battle against his son, which his son was way faster than me at that time. And I rode it. I got, 4th maybe for my first big race, and then just moved on and kept going.
So how awesome is that you were able to borrow another kid's bike? And
it's fun. I'm glad that happened because usually now after that we're friends. He kind of moved And we used to go to the track and meet up, and we'd stay the night, we'd cook breakfast, and we'd ride the tracks.
That's awesome. So does this sport, have you made a lot of friends? Like, tell us about that.
I've made a lot. I don't go to school. I'm virtual. And so I use a lot of my friends are motocross. When I did go to school, I made a couple friends. Still hang out with them every now and then. And so now all my friends live Oklahoma, Texas, everywhere. And every time we'll meet up at a race and we'll talk at the gate or something during practice on the starting line.
Okay. So tell me, you talk about Cooper a lot. Can you tell us how you and Cooper met?
We were doing the amateur race, and we all thought he was a girl. He had very long hair. It's like down to his butt. And so he was racing, and we were like, I was watching him because he was in the older class to me, and he was going fast. He was probably first. He just kept sending everything. And he does enduro, so he's crazy. He's like a goon rider to me. And so he's funny. He's goon.
He's a goon. So
Yeah.
he does enduro racing.
Yeah. I've done one or two with him. We did the White Rock Enduro.
So what was the White Rock Enduro?
They have a kids course the first day, so it's just like a track in the trees and stuff. And then the next day they do like a big course, like a big enduro trail. But for the younger kids, they only do little sections, and for the bigger the older ones, they do like a big course that takes like 4 hours.
So it's like time trialed through the woods,
Yeah,
like 30-mile ride.
So we do 2 sections, and so you time the first one. If you get the fastest lap out of it, you win. And then when you time the second one. If you have a certain amount of time to make it to the next one, unless your time expires. And so you have a certain amount of time to get there and plow through the trails and go. But yeah.
So what is your goal? What are you trying to accomplish right now?
Probably work on not being scared of the bigger jumps and making it to Loretta's, or at least try.
So you talk about Loretta's. Have you ever hit any area qualifiers or qualified for Loretta's?
Yeah, last year we went to Raynard's and did the qualifier there, and you're supposed to get 9th place to qualify to regionals. I got 10th. It kind of bummed me down. First moto, I went out on my mod class and I messed it up pretty bad. I cased a bunch of jumps. It hurt. I got 8th though. I got lucky. Second moto came around. I got 12th or 11th.
So you overalled in about 10th position?
Yeah.
What position were you supposed to, what was your top out to qualify?
5. Well, it's 9th, but me and my dad wanted 5, see if I could get there. But
so did you only do one area qualifier?
yeah, I only did one.
How did you do Texas Winter Series this last season?
I got like maybe 8th was my best. No, 6th. I got 6th one moto. My first race was Freestone. I took a 3-minute dirt nap on a straight stretch because I cross-threaded.
How did wrecking affect your racing?
It got me scared, so I kind of slowed down and quit hitting stuff. And then now I'm bringing back the build up to hit the jumps, and because at Swan they have that. I don't know if y'all have been to Swan before the new revamp, but they had a big triple there in the back, and my dad said I wouldn't be able to ride anymore if I didn't hit it.
Did you hit it?
Yeah, it was scary though. It like bottomed out your bike.
Did it?
Yeah.
Okay. So who's your idol right now?
Probably Jet Lawrence or Eli Tomac.
Oh, yeah. All right, so shout out to whoever you'd like to shout out to for helping you chase your dreams and getting you where you're at and trying to take it further.
My mom, my dad, Jesus Christ for keeping me safe on the track, Action Motorsports, Jet Aircraft, Janvers Motorsports, Zero Miss Designs, and all the others I forgot. Thank y'all for supporting me so much out there, and I'd like to say thank you for everything.